Hi, I'm Leanne. I'm a lightworker and a mother to 3 special girls. I strive to continue learning, growing, and to collect new skills. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master teacher, and Akashic record reader and energy healer. I am so excited to share what I've learned and what I'm going to learn and the ups and downs of life. Thank you for joining me on my journey. Welcome to Life of a Lightworker podcast. Hello, thank you for joining me. I'm going to be pulling a card from the Starseed Oracle from Rebecca Campbell. And my intention is, what do you need to know about today? So my first card is Loosen Your Grip. And underneath it says Coping Mechanisms, Density, Addiction, Let God In. And I feel like there's one more. So. Oh, there it is. That one flew out. Okay, Star Ancestors, Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom, Look a Little Deeper. I'm going to be reading from the book first. So, loosen your grip. We're cyclic beings, and Mother Earth teaches us how to be human every day with the coming and going of the tides and the season. If you're clinging to anything, you're resisting the natural flow of who you are. The things we cling to are often those we most need to let go of. The food, the substances, the relationships, the jobs, the people-pleasing. The things we cling to often cover up our most vulnerable spaces. The part we're most afraid to leave empty, the part we guard and don't let grace into. But by keeping the space covered with something that doesn't serve us, or cling to it for fear of not staying in of its own accord, we prevent ourselves from receiving the things that will. A Course in Miracles tells us, whatever we leave empty, grace will fill. And the Buddha said, you can only lose what you cling to. Indeed, both are true. If this card appears, you're being called to find the courage to loosen your grip and give up control, to release your coping mechanisms and leave space for grace and God to enter, to surrender all that feels dense to the divine. Loosen your grip doesn't mean that what you're clinging to will go away. It may, or it may stay, but you can be sure that it was meant for you. And you'll breathe easier knowing that you've shifted from relying on your own strength to surrendering to the grace of life. Okay, and from the book for the second card, Star Ancestors, the ancients knew much more than we do about our connection to the stars. Their pyramids, temples, and other places of worship, created in precise alignment with the stars, exist in all corners of the world. What if this ancient wisdom is available for you to uncover now? You're being called to think and listen with your ancient heart and soul, to tap into that part of you that remembers and knows. All ancient secrets are whispered forever in your ear. All mystic knowing blooms in your heart. All potent power pumps through your veins. You're being invited to step into your ancient knowingness, to be held by the rememberings of the star ancestors, to look a little deeper. If you're feeling stuck, you're being called to do something different, to change your point of view. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong, when we do the unexpected. So often a creative solution is right in front of us, but because we think the same thoughts and act the same ways, we miss what's in the open. You're here to remember and uncover ancient secrets and transmissions, technology and wisdom that are so needed on this planet right now. To unlock your soul's memories of a time when we lived in harmony on Earth and will one day again. My throat's a little off. It started to get sore yesterday, and it's a little bit sore today, but I definitely noticed after saying all of that at the end my voice was getting a little crankly. So just keep that in mind for the rest of the episode. That might happen again. Okay, so when I feel into the cards, let me see. Yeah, I feel like, when I put them together, letting go of our ideas of who we are, letting go of these things that we thought made us who we are. So let's say someone's like, I'm a volleyball player, I do baking, I'm a mother, you're listing all the things you do, not who you are. Who you are is rooted into your star ancestors. It's rooted into your genetic components. It's rooted into your soul. It's not necessarily the things you do. And I feel like part of this is that identity we have about ourselves, and actually finding out and discovering and learning who we are instead of focusing on the things we do, specifically do for others. And I feel like that is a big thing that's coming up for a lot of people, is discovering who they are. A lot of people don't even know what they like anymore because they're so used to being of service to other people. So I am feeling that we are being called to look within and explore and play and be curious and ask yourself every day, who are you? What do you like? What do you like to do? Can you find something in today that's fun, that brings me joy, that makes your heart light up? Go into the day with that curiosity of trying to find those sparks. Put focus on those sparks to allow them to grow. And I feel like that is a really good start for someone who hasn't really done a lot of discovering about who they are quite yet. They haven't really dug their toe into that. They might be feeling a little lost, but they don't know where to start. So that is a really small thing that you can add into your day that may not feel overwhelming, because it'll only take a couple minutes. And then if you could try to remind yourself throughout the day to look for something, that's great. But setting that intention is the biggest step forward. I feel like this could go on many layers, and I feel like the next layer is loosening your grip on your reality, on what your belief systems, the things that you have used as building blocks to build the life you have, whether you've consciously or subconsciously done this. So maybe as a kid, maybe when your parents told you something and you took it as, yep, that's true, that is a foundational block in my life and I'm going to build my life upon that block. So loosening the grip is realizing those foundation blocks are not permanent. They can be moved. They could be quote unquote wrong. Maybe they don't serve you anymore. Maybe your house would be better suited on a different foundation. So getting the idea, the thoughts that maybe there is something that can be moved and uprooted and shifted. And once you have started that, once you've opened the crack, opened the door of the possibility that it could be something that doesn't serve you anymore, things start coming out. Things start trickling out, and you can control whether you want to throw the door right open and dig in the dirt and try to find these pieces that no longer serve you, or you could open the door and let it come out as a trickle, or as not directed by you. That is, like, you could guide the way, or you can let it come to you. And I feel like it depends on your journey. If you are at a place where you are very much A type, I'm doing this, this, and this, yeah, maybe a methodical approach to look at each section, look at each part of your life, each belief, and look at it, assess it, and really examine it, and maybe putting it on paper is the right approach for you right now. Or if you're a different stage of life or a different part of your journey or a different personality type. Maybe letting it flow as it needs to flow is what is right for you. So you choose what's right for you. Okay, so I'm going to ask, what are some things that we can do to help us loosen the grip and make it easier for the knowledge, for the knowings, for the realizations to flow, to be made aware to you? The first thing that pops in my head is breath. Intentionally connecting to your breath. And the real easy, quick example that popped in my head was when you breathe in deeply, and if you hold your breath, notice where your breath is moving, where your breath is sitting, where the pressure is, where it might feel any sort of sensation. We're just noticing. And breathe in and out and notice how the breath is affecting your body. That's all you have to do. We're just having that conscious connection with your breath and your body and how it interacts with each other. And over time, once you've gotten used to how your body responds to the breath, you can notice in certain situations where your body is doing something maybe more tense, and you can breathe into that part and relax it, and how that's going to play in with the loosening your grip and working through childhood or belief systems is that when you find a belief that maybe you don't know if it's serving you or not, pay attention to your body. How are you holding yourself? How are your muscles? Where is your breath? All these are clues for how it's affecting you, if it's serving you, if it's a good fit for you. So we're putting all these puzzle pieces together and exploring. And a lot of this exploration does entail having to know your body, because your body really tells you so much, but we have just been deadened to pay attention to it. Like, we shut it out. We ignore it. We have to try to pay attention to it. It's not innate. It's not something that we just intuitively do on a regular basis anymore. It's been pushed out of us, and we have to try to bring it back in. So breath is a great way to do that. Let me see, what else? What other tools, tricks, tips can everybody use? Oh, and I just had another one pop in my head. Some people don't realize when their muscles are tight, but if you gently hit that muscle, then you'd be like, oh, that is sore, that is tight, and you bring awareness. So gently tapping your body, all over your body, slowly. You could do this in sync with your breath. You don't have to, but we are going around the muscles in our body and noticing which ones are tight, which ones are sore, and making note of that, because a lot of times we are in pain and we don't even know it. And we are holding emotions, we are holding feelings, we are holding other people's things as well, not just ours. And we just are used to holding it, so we don't even notice it anymore. So we need something extra, like tapping onto that part or patting on that part to see if it's actually okay, or have we been ignoring it. So this just brings more attention onto the areas that are being called, that are calling us to look at them. If something hurts, it wants attention. It wants us to look at it and try to find a solution. It doesn't want us to ignore it. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't have begun hurting or started restricting you in the first place. It's just our society tells us to ignore it and walk it off, right? So this is another thing to really connect into yourself, because connecting into your body is really, really tied into connecting to your belief system, connecting to your past lives, connecting to your higher self, connecting to your childhood, your inner child. So it's really the tangible roadmap through all of these systems. And it's something that everybody can explore, and everyone would feel better if they explored, because once that pain that you've ignored goes away, all of a sudden you realize, oh my goodness, I feel amazing. I didn't even know I felt bad. So, as someone who, putting my hand up, deals with chronic autoimmune and pain issues, this is right on me too. I really feel this, and I've done a lot of work in the last 5 years regarding this specifically, but there's always room for improvement, and I definitely need to work more on my neck and back, 100%. But it's a process, and I'm excited to try some of that tapping. I don't think I've done that before, and that's a great idea. As soon as I had that thought popped in, I was like, oh, that's going to be great. I'm going to be using that, because sometimes when you're in chronic pain, when you feel something all the time, you just become desensitized to it, and you don't notice it without an external force really shining the light on it. So for me personally, I love that one. Okay, one more time. Is there anything else that the people listening need to know about, need to hear about, or any tips or tools that could help them with this week? I just got a reminder to try to stay grounded, connect with the earth, and take time, especially this next week, to focus your energy to connect with her and have that I feel like that sense of community. I feel like it's funny because I'm recording this on the 4th, and this comes out on the 7th, I believe, and there's a lot of, feels like dust being kicked up, and it makes it kind of cloudy and muggy, and I feel that's what it feels like everyone's in, this heavy smog. But we can dig down into the earth and get a breathing tube into the earth to connect your energy directly to her, instead of going up into the atmosphere and around the earth. We're going deep inside. And I feel like it's needed to genuinely connect with the earth from your heart. Right now more than ever, it almost feels like there's a lot of people that are very unsettled. And it's, we need to connect to the earth. Let me see. Is there any other things? Yeah, taking time to breathe. And nothing else is really coming up. So I think that's a good place to end. If you would like to connect with me, my website is spruceenergyhealing.com. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all Spruce Energy Healing. And if you have any questions or anything at all, please reach out. I would love to hear from you. I hope you have a good grounding week, and hopefully I will see you next time. I'm not too sure because the kids have the week off, but if everything turns out, I'll have an episode next week as well. Have a great week, everybody.